By the way, later in the show, I'll be talking to our West Coast correspondent, retired robbery and homicide detective Ray Schneiders, about some truly strange stuff happening in California. Stories that involve 28 cops passing around an underage hooker, suicide, murder, kidnapping, and a town that pays its gun-violent criminals not to shoot people. You heard that right. That story's from a Bay Area city, just over 100,000 people, called Richmond, California. And during the 2000s, it was uncommonly violent for a town that size. It was considered one of the most dangerous places to live in America. It was so bad, authorities reportedly considered calling in the National Guard, but instead they called in Devone Bagone. Do we get an echo on that? Devone Bagone. So let's look at some. We have a little video just to like show you what we'll be talking about later. Ryan Katz-Rivera, if you please. That's the guy. They said National Guard or this guy. And
every night on the news, you'd think this was Beirut. You'd be afraid to come to this city.
Okay. Now, if you didn't already get a load of this guy, get a load of this guy. I can immediately tell two things about him. One, he's done a little time. And two, he's got a hot tip on a horse. Devone Bagone. He's a youth development policy professional with an expertise in chronic violent offenders. Okay. He's also the founder of the Office of Neighborhood Safety. Roll the next clip.
The city brought in Devone Bogan, who came up with a controversial solution. Pay the young men like Dewan not to pull the trigger.
Oh, yeah.
You heard that right. Yeah. His expertise in working with chronic violent offenders has led him to the conclusion that a good way to stop gun violence is to bribe the criminals with taxpayers' dollars. That's right. Give them money before they steal it. Some elected people in Richmond actually were sitting in a room and voted on that in a government building, and it didn't come back unanimously no. They went with this. Go to the next one.
There are people we've spoken to who believe it is wrong to pay a kid not to kill somebody.
Well, that's not what we do. In fact, I never tell a young man to put his gun down.
So what are you paying them for then?
Their job is to get their lives together.
All right, whether or not your life is together, it's up to you. It's on the honor system, which is a perfect system for violent criminals with guns. And by the way, did you hear what he said? Not only do they not have to surrender their weapons, in this anti-gun violence program, you don't even have to put your gun down. You can literally hold it constantly, and they pay you money. Now, think about Devone Bagone. It's important when he speaks to disregard everything that he says. Not that I need to tell you that. Everything he says with his mouth, but just look at his face and his stupid fucking hat that he wore to be on TV. He said, I'm going to be on TV. I'm wearing this. All right? So just a quick logic check. They're not getting paid not to kill someone, but if they do kill someone, if they don't kill someone, they do get paid. But they're not getting paid if they don't. You get the idea. All right, go to the next one.
Devone says incentivizing these young men to change is ultimately more cost-effective for everyone. One murder costs nearly $500,000 on average, almost all of it paid by taxpayers.
I see. If we don't pay these guys now not to kill people, it's just going to cost us way more in the long run. Nobody wants that. It's extortion. Next one.
I painted all those cabinets right there.
So far, the investment in Dewan is paying off. He just got his first on-the-books paying job.
When the people come in here and they move into their house, they would never know.
Look at him, he became Muslim. You know, yeah, his first on-the-books paid job. That's a very honest thing to do. And they would never know that a guy who was a criminal was doing it. Now, let's go to the next clip because this sort of describes where this guy's coming from.
So far, the investment in Dewan is paying off. He just got his first on-the-books paying job.
When the people come in here and they move into their house, they would never know that little black kid from Richmond did it. You know what I mean? They'd never know.
A little black kid with a record as long as your arm. A rap sheet.
Progress for a young man who was first
Go ahead.
arrested at age 12 for armed robbery. He says he was homeless, stole an iPhone to help his single mom pay her bills.
All right. Is there a person on the planet who believes that bullshit? Go ahead.
I called him a leader, a hunter. That's what they would call him. I called him brilliant.
Yes, that's right. A leader, a hunter, a predator. Brilliant. Give that man a raise. One more.
Devone says he was well known on the streets.
A serial shooter,
That's what they would say. I called him a leader.
a hunter.
Well, that was interesting.
To help the fellows navigate life or death choices, Devone enlisted men like James Houston and Sam Vaughn,
For the baby mama's sake, you gotta this is your first, so it gotta be the most important.
who themselves have rap sheets for violent crimes.
So what's their resume look like? Graduate school, social work?
Most of our guys have come out of either state or federal prison.
Convicts.
Oh, absolutely. And let me tell you, City Hall was like, what? We're going to be looking to hire men and women who may have murder in their background.
You can see how that would raise an eyebrow. Just to summarize, Devone Begone, he gives up to $1,300 a month to violent criminals who are allowed to carry guns on the condition that they don't get caught murdering someone. And he hired to supervise them ex-convicts from the state or federal penitentiary. And that's all arranged through the Office of Neighborhood Safety. That's a safe situation right there. Convicts looking after guys with guns. Now, well, let's go to the next clip
In a
here.
5-year
It's a
period,
lively show.
the number of homicides dropped 76% across Richmond, a number that can't be attributed to ONS alone. But ONS says the proof that their approach is working, the vast majority of fellows are still alive.
Did he say felons or fellows? It sounded like he said felons. If they weren't alive, none of this shit would be necessary. Let's go to the next one.
But the change agents say many of the fellows in their program still carry guns for protection.
How do you square that with if you are trying to teach them how to function in society, but yet they're still strapped?
Right now, we're just trying to teach them not to deal with their conflict with violence. I'm not saying it's okay, but I'm saying I understand your reality.
To teach them not to deal with their anger with violence. However, keep your gun just in case. Guns kind of a little violence in reserve there. Let's go to the last clip here.
They get to make the decisions about how peaceful and safe this city is. And they're making those decisions every day. So we want to expose them
Sounds
to
like
a
a
world
threat.
where they go from, I don't give up, to a place where maybe I do.
So your target result after paying them all this money to hang out together and travel cross country is that maybe they'll give a fuck. Maybe. Ray Schneider will be here later. Also, a legal expert, Talia Reese, a student medical